All right. Good morning. All right, checking out the spacing here. I'll probably move myself this way. All right. Okay, it's 10:30. Have some people coming in, so to speak. So welcome, get yourself situated. I'm going to take this time to just introduce myself, talk about the class, what to expect. So my name is Jacqueline, and the class is focused on alignment. So we're going to be paying very close attention to setting up the body optimally for developing strength and also increasing flexibility. If you're brand new either to this class or maybe you're brand new to yoga, you of course want to take things a little bit easier at times. Make sure that you're checking in with how you feel, take frequent breaks if needed. And I also want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable knowing that you can ask me any questions that you might have. You can use the chat feature to ask questions to address concerns. So anything that you have going on that you think that I need to know, or if you need specific modifications, the only way that I will know that is if you let me know what's going on. So hopefully if there is something going on, you feel comfortable sharing it and telling me in the chat, and then I can give you specific modifications if you need them. We are going to be continuing for the rest of the month with these Wednesday morning classes. And so I guess that means we have one more class in June left, right? Stay tuned for potential July program offerings. And reminder that this is open to everybody, and it also does not have to be viewed live at the exact time of broadcast. It can be watched later. So you can share it with people, see if they're interested. And of course, if you have the opportunity, if you have the time to leave your feedback with the Somerset County Library in regards to this program and any of the other programs, that would be very helpful, especially if you have good things to say for sure. So feedback is really helpful and important as we continue to delve into the world of virtual programming. And that being said, if we are to experience any sort of technological difficulties, so for instance, if the connection gets lost, my plan will be to stop the stream and to start a new one. So I'm just giving you that heads up that if there is some sort of connection issue and the video goes blank, or if whatever is just not working, just keep refreshing the page or however you want to go about that to then find the new stream. So that will be my plan if there is some sort of disruption in the connection, is I will stop the current stream, start a brand new one. This is presuming, of course, that the internet is functioning. So yeah, we appreciate your patience with all of that. I know that 2 weeks ago there was an issue, so just wanted to address that. And if you notice something, still use the chat feature. It's still possible I might be able to see it, right? So anything that is going on technology-wise, feel free to share your feedback in the chat as well. Let me know how things look on your end. And of course, this goes for just in general, if you can't hear me, if something goes wrong, let me know. All right, so I think that's really everything that I have to say regarding the class. And at the end of class, we do have an opportunity. If you have any other questions or anything like that, you can ask them. But during class, please feel free to ask the questions. If you need me to explain something better, that is what I'm here for. So I welcome the questions even during class. And right now in this moment, if you do have any sort of concerns, I would prefer that you let me know now while we get into our breathing. This way, after we come out of pranayama, which is our breathing, I can address those before we get into movement. So, all right. So root yourself down through your seat, sitting nice and tall. Draw the shoulders back, the head back, and gently close your eyes. Relax the face muscles. Unclench the teeth. Keep the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. And allow the mind to quiet as you bring your attention and your focus to your breath. Very gently, without much added effort, begin to deepen the breath, moving into diaphragmatic breathing. So as you inhale, feel the belly rise and expand. And as you exhale, the belly button draws back toward the spine. Inhale, the belly rises and expands. And exhale, belly button draws back. On your next inhale, draw the breath up a little higher so the belly rises and expands, then the mid-chest and the ribs expand. And you exhale from the mid-chest, belly button draws back. Your next inhale, draw the breath up even higher, moving into the full 3-part yogic breath. Belly rises and expands, then the mid-chest, then all the way up into the upper chest, just underneath the collarbones. And you exhale from the collarbones down into the mid-chest. Belly button draws back. So nice, slow, full, and deep breaths, whether you're breathing 1, 2, or 3-part. 2 more breaths. And on your second exhale, allow the breathing to return to normal. Keep the mind calm, the face relaxed. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Take a nice breath in. Exhale, let it all the way out. Turn the eyes down toward the heart. Release the hands, gently flicker the eyes open. Bring the head up to center. Take the legs, straighten them out in front of you. Gently rub the hips. Knees. Circle the ankles. In both directions. Point the toes. Flex the feet. Point and flex. One at a time. Good, come to tabletop position, hands and knees. So you want to bring the hands shoulder width, maybe mat width distance apart. Spread the fingers, try to get equal distance between them. Make sure hands are straight, perhaps slightly turned out. Elbow creases of the arms face each other. So the back is nice and flat. Abdominal muscles are engaged here. Tuck the toes under for a little more power and more stability. Hug in toward the center. Keep head in line with spine and connect to the breath. And then from here, we'll move into cat and cow, warming up the spine as you inhale. The belly lowers, tailbone lifts, head comes forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the back, and look back at your thighs. Inhale, belly lowers, tailbone lifts, head comes forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the back, and look back at your thighs. So continue with this. Take it at your own pace and move with your breath. And take 2 more nice full cat and cows. On your second exhale, when your back is rounded, return to that flat back position in tabletop. And when you're back in tabletop, check in with your foundation. So you just want to see if anything changed, make whatever adjustments you need to. Now from here, take a step back with the knees and start to angle the body back. So shoulders move behind wrists, hips come over knees. Call more attention into the hands. So really root down. Allow the knees to rise up off the mat a little bit. Do the action of feet dragging toward each other. Knees stay in line with ankles. Press stronger into the hands as though you were trying to push the mat out from underneath you. And then slowly lift the hips, straighten or go towards straight with the legs. Coming into downward facing dog, and you breathe here. If the backs of the legs are tight, take the feet wider apart. Maybe practice the pose with bent knees if necessary. That's more important than, it's more important rather to have your spine long than to have straight legs and look or feel like this, okay? And then if you're basically comfortable, gently walk the dog. So bend one knee, lower the opposite heel, going very slowly. So this is just a nice opportunity for the backs of the legs to find a little bit more opening. If you're walking the dog, return to center and stillness and take a quick peek back at the feet. You want to make sure that they're facing straight forward. So when the feet are straight, the heels are hidden behind the toes, so you shouldn't be able to see your heels. Then keep your head in line with the spine. From here, walk the feet forward, finding Uttanasana or standing forward fold. So the hips are over the knees, knees over ankles, equal weight through the feet. Your knees are soft and your fingertips are either lightly touching your legs, yoga blocks if you have, or something like a box as an alternative, or the floor if available, but not forcing it. Inhale and lengthen the center of the chest. Exhale and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Press strongly through the feet. Bring hands to the hip creases, elbows, shoulders, and head lift. Inhale and come up. Coming into Tadasana, standing mountain pose. So the feet face straight forward. Your sit bone width distance apart, maybe wider if you need. Knees are soft, shins hug toward each other. Draw tailbone down. So that's a little bit of that lower abdominal engagement. Shoulders up and back, rib cage in, palms out. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, arms lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, arms lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, strong legs, long spine as you fold forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, hands next to feet, left leg steps back. Gently lower the knee down. So we're in a low lunge on the right. Your right knee is over the ankle, front foot, back knee. Do the action of dragging toward each other. From here, step back to plank. So in plank, just like tabletop, elbow creases of the arms face each other. There's a lift to the belly, a slight lift to the legs. Gently lower the knees down. So knees are behind hips. Abs are still working to keep your back long and straight. This is modified plank. Always a solid option if you need it. From here, take this plank position. Move it forward, which is different than down, right? So notice how I slide forward. Shoulders over wrists. Then hug the elbows in toward the body as you bend them, lowering the heart but not your belly. Then everything comes down. Untuck the toes and move into a lower baby cobra. So your feet are pressed, tailbone is lengthened, and you squeeze your shoulder blades, keep your head back. Tuck the toes, press back, maybe through the knees, lift the hips, downward facing dog, and you breathe here. Step your left foot forward, help it if it gets stuck, lower the right knee down, left knee over ankle, front foot, back knee, dragging toward each other, draw shoulders back, keep heart open. And step back to plank. Knees gently lower. Take your plank, move it forward, elbows bend, hugging in, lowering heart, and come to cobra. Now, if that doesn't work, that pose, that sequence doesn't work, you can always do cat-cow as an alternative, or just skip it entirely. Press back, downward facing dog, breathing. And walk the feet forward. Uttanasana, standing forward, fold, soft knees. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press through the feet, bring hands to hip creases. Inhale, rise. Reach the arms. Exhale, arms gently lower. And lift. Long spine as you fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, hands next to feet, left leg steps back. This time, keep the knee lifted. Right knee is at 90 degrees, feet drag toward each other, back thigh presses up and back. Gaze forward, abs strong, step back to plank. Now you might be able to practice plank with your knees off the mat. You might need to put them down like we did before. Choose a smart option for you today. So you want to create a sense of lift. From here, knees down or up. You want to move forward. And again, you can always skip this step, meaning you can just cat-cow. You can come into down dog and wait. You have options. Child's pose. If you are going to move through, you move forward first, then elbows bend. If your knees are up, everything's coming down at the same time, so that's a little different than knees down. Then we all find cobra. Feet are grounded, tailbone is lengthened, squeeze shoulder blades, then tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, and you breathe. Hang on, there's a little, sorry, had to X out of thing that popped up on the computer there. Hopefully that didn't disrupt the stream. Apologies if it did. Left foot forward, right knee stays lifted, feet drag toward each other, back thigh presses up and back. So breathe, relax the jaw. And step back, plank. Knees down or up if you so choose. Chaturanga, nice movement forward, right? So see how much I do that there. Elbows hug in and come to cobra. And press back. Hold here. Saw something pop up. Oh, you're welcome, Crystal. Thank you. All right, so you're in downward facing dog. Step right foot forward between the hands. Left heel spins down. Rise up to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. So your right knee is at 90 degrees. Knee tracks to the right. Shoulders over hips, right? So you're nice and solidly stacked, and your hips are open and facing forward, essentially, right? Because in this sense, forward, we're thinking not in terms of the knee. We're thinking like, okay, heart is this way, as are the hips open in this way. Energy through the fingertips. Feet are dragging toward each other to create lots of dynamic energy throughout the legs here, which also provides the support for the hips. Keep your knee tracking to the right. One more breath. Exhale, come down, step back, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, right heel spins down, rise up, warrior 2, knee over ankle, knee tracks left. So check in with your alignment as best you can. Soften the face. And as you exhale, come down, step back to plank or not. You can always skip the plank sequence, okay? So modify as needed. If you so choose, knees down or up, chaturanga, elbows hug in, shoulders away, cobra, feet press, tailbone lengthens, press back, downward dog, and breathe. Right foot forward, left heel spins down, Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. So you're going to keep the same legs as warrior 2, but bring your forearm lightly to the top of the thigh. Right hand active like you're holding a tray. Right knee still at 90, pressing open to right. Left hand can stay at the hip crease, right? Notice how that's at the front of the body. Drawing the shoulder back, or reach the arm, plug the shoulder, and slide it overhead if you'd like. Press strongly through the outer edge of the left foot, create space. Breathe. And as you exhale, come down, step back, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, right heel spins down, coming up, Parsvakonasana, extended side angle, so 90-degree bend in the left knee, knee tracks left, right hand at hip crease, drawing shoulder back, or reach the arm, plug the shoulder, and slide it if the shoulder lets you. Tuck the ribs in, keep your knee tracking left, feet still drag toward each other. You want to feel space underneath that right thigh. Exhale, let's come down and step back to plank or not. Remember, you have options from here. If you so choose, knees down or up, move forward, elbows hug in, push the floor away. Coming to cobra, really ground through the feet. And press back, downward dog, breathe. So we're gonna step right foot forward between the hands. Left heel spins down. Pause here. Start to open yourself up and begin to remove the bend from your right knee as you move into Trikonasana triangle pose. Friends, realistically, you might have to rise way up. That's okay. We maintain a softness behind the right knee. so we don't block out at the knee here. Tuck the ribs in and down. Right foot is firmly planted. If you have yoga blocks, this is where you can incorporate them, or if you've got a box nearby or a book that's easily accessible. Fingertips slightly touching, create space. Left hand can always come down if you have any sort of discomfort with that shoulder. And again, softening behind the right knee. So it's a straight leg, it's just not locked out. One more breath. Exhale, come down, step back, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, right heel spins down. Take your time to unfurl and open up into triangle pose. Letting yourself rise way up if need be. Left foot's firmly planted, leg is straight, not locked. Can you create space and length? Hips are open. Breathing. One more breath. Exhale, come down, step back to plank. Knees down or up, chaturanga. Push through inner edges of hands. Cobra, feet press, tailbone lengthen, shoulders back. Press back, downward dog, breathe. Bend the knees, puff up in the lower back. Look up toward the hands, walk or try maybe jumping or hopping forward. Forward fold, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Press through the feet, bring hands to hip creases. Inhale, rise. Arms draw up. Exhale, arms gently lower. All right, we'll set up for a balance pose. You're gonna root through your right leg, knee is soft. Left ankle crosses just below or just above the right knee and push the knee open. So it's like you're making the number 4. Or your toes can stay down on the mat or block if you need to keep the toes grounded. Standing leg knee is soft, so not locking out. Draw tailbone down, keep the chest lifted. Maybe hands in front of heart, maybe not. Soften the face. You can play with taking your arms further away. You do not have to. Keep breathing. Find something to look at that's not moving. One more breath. Exhale, release arms, release foot. Root through the left leg, take your time. Ooh. You should follow my own advice, right? Crossing right ankle just below or just above knee. Flex the foot, push the knee open. Avoid locking your left knee, please. So that is something that naturally the body might want to do, but really try to avoid it. Draw tailbone down, shoulders back, maybe hands in front of heart. Try to look at something that's not moving. And maybe arms rise further away if you want more challenge. One more breath. Exhale, gently release arms, release foot, shake out the legs, circle the ankles. Then stand at the top of the mat if you're not there already. See about bringing the feet together. Take the arms up, Exhale, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose, knees behind toes, tone through the belly. If your arms fall, you can bring hands in front of heart instead. Breath in. Exhale, fold forward, adjust the feet. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, hands next to feet. Step back, downward facing dog. Press strongly through inner edges of hands. So we're going to come into pigeon prep pose. This is a hip opener, and I'll show you the options if this pose doesn't work for you. But you're gonna extend the right leg up and back to three-legged dog first, and then start to shift forward to plank, looking at your right hand. Bring your knee so that it's right behind your wrist and over to the right of your wrist. So you're really moving that knee over to the side. Foot clears the pelvis, and you walk your left leg back. Now, realistically, if you need to, you can take your right ankle over left knee like this, or if that's too tight, you do that lying down. It's all doing the same thing, just varying degrees, right? And it depends on your body. So you want to honor where your body is today and not force it into something that is not going to benefit it in any way, shape, or form, right? So if you can do full pigeon prep, your knee is way over to the right side of your mat, your left leg walks back. Now, this pose, in addition to hip opener, there's a lot that's going on. It's also a back bend pose. Why? Because if you think about it, as we sit up taller, we're actually in a bit of spinal extension, all right? So you have to draw your tailbone down. If you need to be a little more forward, that's okay. And if you do have blocks, you can prop your fingers underneath the blocks if your hips are fairly lifted. Look over your left shoulder and just make sure your left leg is straight. You'll notice I tuck my toes. This gives a little bit more power and more stability. It keeps the ankle safer. Relax the face, and again, you could be in the seated position, crossing right ankle over left knee, and breathe. You want to have and harness energy. So front leg, back knee are drawing in toward the center like we did in our lunge poses before, and the tailbone draws down. So there's a buoyancy that you literally create through the strength of the legs. You want to feel that buoyancy. It's protection. Think of it as a equivalent to something like a seatbelt or a life jacket, right? Soften the jaw as well. So hip opening poses can sometimes be very intense, especially when we're in deeper expressions of them. So it's very normal to feel that intensity. But again, it should be at a manageable level. So you should be able to manage the pose with breath or with heightened awareness on, the breath, or on relaxing through different parts of the body that don't need to be tense. But if you find this completely impossible, then that's when you might consider dialing it back. So making sure that you're not overdoing it. One more breath. And then we're going to gently transition. You can revisit three-legged dog if you'd like, but of course you do not have to, especially if you're seated or lying down. Let that right foot come down, and then we'll do the other side. So if you want, left leg up and back, keeping hips square. Then you start to shift forward, thinking plank. Find your wrist, move your knee to the left of it, behind it, walk your right knee back. Each side is different, so I want you to be aware that it's very possible that on one side you might be in pigeon prep, let's say, and on the other side you might not be able to do the same pose. This is okay. So then just adjust. There's no judgment attached to the adjustments that you need to make. Energize the legs, draw the tailbone down, Keep your chest lifted. Oh, I saw a comment come through. Oh, I'd like to think I could read that from here, but I can't. Maybe I'm right, but I'm going to check on it. Gotta safely get out of the pose. Oh, cool. Thank you, Robert. So make sure you're breathing, focusing. So I know for me personally, this is my tighter side, and I really feel that. And actually this, not that you need to know this, but I'm an oversharer. This week, really, I've been kind of dealing with this is my right side, even though we're on the left. I always mirror you. I hope that it doesn't flip the image. Let me know, by the way, if ever that's confusing. Sometimes different programs, they flip the image, so I'm thinking that I'm doing appropriate mirroring, but then when I'm doing mirroring, it winds up I'm doing the opposite. Anyway, yoga teacher problems. But I've been dealing with a lot of tightness in my hamstring, in my right leg this week. I don't know what's going on. So I feel this right now very much more intensely than I did on my other leg. So again, we have to really be able to acknowledge the different things that we have going on throughout our body and to be forgiving with them, to be understanding, and to go about it in a productive way, right? So we never want to force anything because in the end, that's only going to cause more trouble. We want to make smart decisions and keep ourselves always moving on that path of progression and not taking any steps back, right? And of course, avoiding injury, right? So that's the other thing that's a very, very real thing to keep in mind. Don't ignore those sensations in the body because it might be that one extra second that puts you into potential injury, and then you can't come and take class anymore. So just be kind to your body. How about one more breath here? And then we're going to transition back into down dog. So if you were lying down or seated, maybe slowly take your time to get here. We're just gonna allow ourselves to be in this pose, right? No real fidgeting. The fidgeting usually is a distraction, right? All right, from here, let's move forward to plank, and we're gonna bring ourselves all the way down to the stomach. So knees down or up, slowly down, but then full release down. Setting up for a Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. So place the forehead down. Lengthen the legs back behind you. So I actually like to literally reach one leg at a time, like I'm trying to touch the wall behind me. Slide the hands back so that the tips of your fingers are just about center of chest level. Elbows point straight back. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Press your feet into the floor. Your knees might lift even. This is normal. Draw your tailbone toward the heel, so you're tucking the tailbone essentially. And squeeze shoulder blades as you rise up. Really press the feet into the floor. Avoid holding the breath and do not lift the chin. And slowly lower. Okay, let's do that again. Press through the feet, squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale, we rise. Now, the stronger you press your feet into the floor, the more you lengthen the tailbone, the stronger your back will be, right? So you want to work a little bit less through the arms. And slowly lower. So if you want a little challenge today, we will do a hands-free cobra. So you're going to set your hands, but then lift them. So see, whoop, there's air underneath. And you don't have to do this, you can do regular. Press through the feet, lengthen tailbone. Now, don't jerk the body. Come up very slowly because you don't want to lose your foundation. Friends, I will let you know that when we do hands-free back bends, the heart rate goes up. This is normal but sometimes it feels a little bit funny, or you might think something's wrong. Keep your feet pressed and keep your tailbone lengthening. And naturally, you might want to hold the breath, but keep breathing as best you can here. Maybe one more breath. And exhale, slowly lower. Make a pillow with the hands. And rest. Smooth breaths. Let's turn over, coming onto the back. Bend the knees, feet flat, feet face straight forward. Hard to tell, but you can kind of get a good sense of that. Bend the elbows, so the palms are looking at each other. Your shoulders are down, upper arms are down, elbows down. You can actually press downward. This is very stabilizing. Press through the feet, root through the shoulders. Press into the back of the head. And inhale, lift the hips up. Finding bridge or Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Knees stay in line with ankles. Can you try to find an evenness? So naturally one side might take more than the other. See if you can feel the feet evenly, feel the shoulders. Keep chin away from chest. Do not turn your head. Press down through the arms. And let's slowly lower. So yeah, you don't want to turn your head when you're in bridge. So just make sure you don't do that. If ever you need to check on me, right? And let's say your device isn't right in front of you right now, and you need to check on what I'm doing, and we're in a posture, try to make sure that, especially if it's bridge, that you come out of it, then you can turn your head, look, and then come back in, right? We just don't want to pinch any nerves in the neck because it really hurts. Speaking from experience. All right, press through the feet, root through the shoulders, press down, lift up. Woo. Knees in line with ankles, breathe. If you notice your hips are above your heart, you want more, lift the heels. And let's slowly lower. So we'll do one more if you want. You can try something a little different. Take your arms down. Palms are up. Shoulders should be open. If, friends, when you come into your bridge, you feel your shoulders peel away from the mat, this is not good. So then you're going to reset. Okay? Lift up. So as you rise, you should actually feel your shoulders press stronger into the floor. Chin away from chest and maybe heels lift. Slowly lower. Take a moment, relax the arms, just breathe. Take the legs, straighten them, point the toes, reach the arms up and over, full body stretch. We do this to neutralize the spine before taking it to the other extreme, which would be folding or flexion. Flex the feet, interlace the hands, press out through the palms. So we just worked on spinal extension, right? That's through the back bends. And we never really, and this applies to life too, want to move through extremes, right? Bouncing from one directly to the other. So we don't want to be in spinal extension and immediately come into flexion. So we use this opportunity here to reset us at neutral. Now, when you're ready, you're going to turn over and come into downward dog or child's pose, and then we'll work a bit on going into folds. And you breathe. And let's come to a seated position. So go ahead and take your left leg out straight in front of you. Bend your right knee, and your foot is on the inside of the thigh. Please don't have your foot underneath your leg. I know sometimes it's hard to see when you're looking at a person in the pose, but the foot is next to the thigh, the inner part of the thigh. It's not underneath your leg. Anchor the right, then the left sit bone first. So we always move the bent leg side first to ground. Left leg is strong, heel presses, foot is flexed. Take your left fingertips alongside you, kind of feeling like you're long on that side. Right arm draws up, turn toward the foot, and as you exhale, gently lengthen forward. Now, here's the thing, friends. When you can't go anymore, please honor that and just let your arm come down, take your shoulder back. Please do not force anything. Keep space and be mindful. When we are in this pose, we are moving from where the legs attach to the torso. Avoid being here, right? Kind of moving from the center of the rib cage. And breathe. Those of you who are maybe more advanced, you might be able to grab the foot with one or both hands. Please don't force this. There's no obligation here. I just want to make sure I'm also offering as many options as I can for every level. Focus the breath. Maybe you close your eyes. And slowly rise, and we'll switch. Extend right leg, bend left leg. Anchor for your seat. Spine long, left arm up, turn toward the foot, and fold. Focus the breath, maybe close your eyes. And slowly come up. I'm just going to turn the other direction here. Now let's try both legs straight out. Anchor through your seat. You might need to be here, right? Actually using your arms for support. There's nothing wrong with this. You might just sit tall like this. This takes effort. You might also feel your abs. And then if available, from the hip creases. So again, we do not, right, do that. That's the sound effect that goes along with it too. So you keep everything long and you just shorten, shorten is not the word I'm looking for. Decrease the angle, right, from the hip creases versus up here in the mobile part of the thoracic spine. Nothing forced. Breathe. Maybe close your eyes. Sometimes erasing the visual is very helpful. Slowly make your way up and out. And then we're going to come down onto the back. Fun, little extra abdominal strengthening. Lower yourself very slowly down. And then once you're down, bend the knees, bring the feet flat. Take your arms out, shoulder height. Palms up. Feel your shoulders grounded into the floor. Bring your feet, calves, knees together so there's no space between the legs. Press down through your feet. Lift your butt. Shift it to the right, put it down. Let your knees gently move to the left. So we're in a reclined twist in which our legs are to the left and our right shoulder is grounded. If your shoulder lifts, this is not good. So you got to feel both shoulders grounded. If you want to involve the neck, you can turn the head to look out over the right arm. Maybe close your eyes. Allow yourself to find a softening, find a surrender into the twist here. Gently coming to center, hips to neutral first. Then press through the feet, lift the butt, shift left, knees gently move right, left shoulder grounded, recline twist, check your shoulders. Maybe turn the head, close your eyes, allow smooth and even breaths.
Look at your kids with your vintage music, coming through satellites while cruising. What a past, but no, you're the future. Signals crossing can get confusing. It's enough just to make you feel crazy, crazy, crazy.
And gently returning hips, legs to center. Lift the knees so they're straight up over the hips. Bring your hands to your knees. Push the arms forward so that your legs actually come further away from you. And you find yourself grounded at the back of the pelvis. So this means that your lower back is probably lifted off the mat. This is normal because you're at the sacrum. Separate feet and knees. If you'd like, you can gently rock side to side. So this is across the sacrum, meaning we are not rocking across the lower back proper. We're keeping the lumbar spine safe as we go across the back of the pelvis. And not everybody likes this, so you don't have to rock. And again, remember, as you're rocking, you are protecting your lower back, so don't feel your lower back coming in contact with the floor. It's just the back of the pelvis. So that's the area of the body just above your butt. And gently return center and stillness. Hug the knees into the chest. Slowly release the feet. If it's comfortable, extend one, maybe both legs. Arms out, palms up. Arms are 4 to 6 inches from the body. Close your eyes, relax the face. Moving into Shavasana, final relaxation. Allow the front of your body to melt down into the back of your body. And the back of your body melts down into the floor. And release any tension you might be holding in any part of your body. Give yourself permission to completely relax. Slowly and gently allow the breath to become deeper. Begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Let the legs come together. Bend one knee up and then the other. With an exhale, gently roll over onto your right side. Allow the left arm to cross over the body. Pausing here in the fetal position. You may use your arm as a pillow. Some people think only intellect counts. Knowing how to solve problems, knowing how to get by, knowing how to identify an advantage and seize it. But the functions of intellect are insufficient without courage, love, friendship, compassion, and empathy. Use the support of the arm and hand to gently press yourself up so that you can turn forward and come into a cross-legged seated position. Eyes closed, face soft, spine tall. Take the hands, bring them together in front of the heart. Lift the heart up to the hands. On our next exhale, I invite you to join me in sealing this morning's practice with one sound of Om. Breathe in. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be at ease. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you all so much. Again, my name is Jacqueline. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the chat feature. I will keep the stream running for about a minute to answer any questions. Or I will also leave my social media information, my yoga Facebook page, where you can absolutely send me a message, or if you just want to follow. And of course, all right, I'm getting a message that says unable to connect to chat. So I don't know if the chat is working. If the stream is still working and you wanted to ask me a question and you are on social media, let's go that route instead of the chat. So Facebook page is, if you go onto Facebook, Yoga with Jacqueline, Jaclyn. And yeah, send me a message if you need. All right, everybody. Again, just hit me up on Facebook. I'm like talking to. Hit me up on Facebook if you need. I think the chat is not working. So yeah, send me a message if you have any questions or concerns. See you next week.